Every PMS has, we've got AI in our PMS, we can give you AI, but you guys have taken a totally different approach.
We have defined ourselves as an AI-driven company where AI is not just a single feature, but basically what's the entire product and company built on top in order to optimize and scale our capabilities.
And our point is to make life easier so the guests will get a better experience when our owners will make more money and our companies will be more profitable while we give much better work-life balance to our employees.
So Boom was built and pretty much the only one that was built this way.
Because at the end of the day, it's not about replacing your people, but it's letting them focus on things that are higher value while still making sure that your standards as a brand and a company are being communicated to your guests and your owners. We'll start the show in just a minute, but first, a word from our premier brand sponsor. For many vacational company owners, there comes a time when you think about what's next. Maybe it's planning an exit, stepping back from daily operations, or finding the right partner to carry the business forward. Nocturne Luxury Villas is helping founders like you take that step with confidence. They partner with founders to build on the brand and relationships they've worked so hard to create over the years, while adding the resources necessary to grow stronger. Nocturne has completed 7 selectively chosen acquisitions in iconic destinations, and every single company kept its own identity, team, and homeowner relationships. In fact, they've never lost a homeowner after closing. That's incredible. They also bring powerful support from marketing and finance to technology and global distribution. With access to more than 500,000 high net worth and ultra high net worth travelers and partners like Virtuoso, American Express Select Homes and Retreats, and Marriott Homes and Villas, they expand the visibility and direct bookings well beyond what's possibly done alone. If you're considering your next chapter, go to nocturneluxuryvillas.com to see how they can help you protect your legacy while unlocking new opportunities. Welcome to Alex Nanny, the Real Women of Vacation Rentals. I'm Alex.
And I'm Annie.
And we are joined today with the 3 founders of Boom. We have Shahar, Alon, and Moran Goldboim. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
I wanted to get started before, so a lot of people don't know all of you, the 3 brothers, and I just asked you, and I think it's a great question to get started with. I have 2 siblings, and so we always take roles kind of in the hierarchy of how things roll in the family. So out of curiosity, which one plays the smart one, which one is the handsome one, and which one is the leader or the glue that keeps you together?
Interesting question.
Put you right on the hot seat.
Put you right on the spot, right from the start.
Alon is the most handsome guy. Moran is the smartest. And I think that I basically mix everything together. So I think kind of this is how it's rolled. Where everybody bring his own basically spice to the mix. You can see it like we are 3 brothers. Each one of us bring a different boom. Look at how it's looking like. But yeah, and then I think the most important thing in between all of us is that ego to the side and we try to get to the truth. And what we actually succeed in doing is taking this high level and take it down to the company level. And what created is just amazing. The mix that we have in Boom in between family, friendship, and vision to where we want to take it, create something really, really, really special.
I think it's true for every, not just families, but it's true for every company. Once a person can bring its true colors to the game, it's really shifting things. And the color combination or the skill combination that we have within this team is remarkable. I mean, like, Shahar is bringing the business aspect, and Alon is a Rain Man. He's making things happen, making development, engineering a reality. And I'm kind of the longer thinker, thinking miles ahead, but this combo together of someone who thinks ahead, someone who takes it to business, and someone that can bring it to reality is the deadly combination. And I think that's what we are kind of experiencing as a team, as working together. Now, obviously, everything has its own challenges, but I think that with the synergy that we are creating and the communication between us and the love, as well as family, is really great. Also, the fact that Shahar is in Miami, right? He's living and breathing US, we are living and breathing development in Israel on the crazy time. So all that mix is actually what made things happen, and really proud to be in that position.
Yeah.
I love that. So you're saying no fighting, so you guys don't fight each other?
Always.
Always.
Always and never at the same time. I'm working with
Yeah.
Alon for the last 15 years. We never had an argument. Moran joined us when we created Boom around 3 years ago and created a beautiful thing to the mix. And to add a little bit to what Moran was saying, I think that I bring the real estate and the business side. Alon brings the connection of the business to software, and Moran brings the AI into the mix. And additional to what Moran said, that's create like something really, really, really unique in your ability to create something meaningful to businesses, the technology that we're creating. Because a lot of time you will have technology people that will look up down, but won't see the down up. So we actually bring all of the world together.
It's incredible. I know you've got two very proud parents, that's for sure. But so we've got some big news to announce today, and Boom just raised $12.7 million. And we wanted to let you kind of share a little insight into that process, which I'm very grateful and just enjoying the process, working with you guys, working with Boom myself. But wanted our audience to hear a little bit about what that means for the company and where you see the future going at this point.
So the fund was actually split into two. So we raised $2.7 million from angel investors. That some of them are like, basically we got validation from the real estate side, from the hospitality side, and from the tech side. So few of our investors is the former CEO of Hilton, Ian Carter, CEO of Goldman Properties that built Wynwood in Miami and the SO in New York. And Gary Fatakov that sold this company to Google, Simplified 2 years ago. So really validation from all of that. But our next step was actually like to get like a VC funding, and actually it was just showing you that like when you do the extra step, like God helping us in a way. So Alejandra from AGP reached out to me in an email. And I was after like injury of paddle. I couldn't walk. The first time that I could actually walk was exactly on the date where we set up like the date to meet up for a coffee. She was visiting Miami, and I went. I said, you know what? Let's go ahead and meet her. We were in conversation with few VC at the time. And from that meeting, stuff went really, 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 really quickly. She loved what we are doing. And right after our meeting, she said, you have to meet the partner. So a day after, we had a meeting with Brian and Oscar from AGP, which Brian is the founder. And I remember after the call, I told Alon and Moran, I told them, we have a match. You remember, Alon? After the conversation, it was just like an amazing feeling, because first I sensed like really people that sit with our culture, kind of I sense it, meaning ego to the side, let's get like to the stuff, let's lose all of the, you know how a lot of time you have like not direct to the point and you're thinking about what you're going to say. Yeah, so all of the fluff to the side, let's do it. We have like really alignment to the way we see business ahead. And it was for me, it was love from the first sight. And from there, Alon, you keep going, like with Brian, the second call right after. So 2 days after Alejandra, I met with Brian. A day after, we met also with Alon to show demo of all of the product. And they already wanted to fly to Miami to meet with us after that meeting. So we scheduled 3 days after a meeting in Miami. Alon got on a flight, and keep going, Alon.
All good. You can keep on going. But basically, we got on a flight. We met with them. To be honest, it felt like Shahar said it felt more than, it wasn't a real negotiation. It was two sides basically valuing one another and wanting to do business together. So I didn't feel that there was a lot of negotiation. They really liked us, the direction, the technology that we are doing. By the way, a lot of interesting stuff that are not yet there are going to happen soon. But basically, it really felt like a match. Also on the personal level, really nice people. It was important for us, to obviously keep the control, keep the direction of the company. So that was also something that we were really aligned with them, because for us, it's really important to lead the vision and to stay customer focused as we are. So anyway, we had the conversation, we started the due diligence. After about a few weeks, Moran and me flew together, and we did kind of like a final sit down to see that we're aligned in the way that we're seeing the near future. From there it happened, now all of the time I know that people are seeing like the funding and they think that the whole road is easy and stuff just came, but obviously it was a hard and a long road to get there. Now that we are there, obviously stuff are moving a lot faster and things are looking a lot smoother, but it was a tough ride. I'm really, really happy that we are here, and from now we're rocketing.
I will add to it that during the due diligence of AGP, like we kind of got a mirror of ourselves. They talk with all of our clients, saying like what they feel about the product, and to read what our clients, our partners are saying about us was phenomenal to me. Like I was reading it like
He was crying. He was shedding a tear. No. I think that for me it was like seeing a chain of events that are going to converge into a certain point, and from there on are going to kind of spread on and bless. Because actually, like when Alon and Shahar was flying to meet the guys, Avenue, Brian, and stuff in the US, and we actually had a convention in South Africa. And it was, I think, the most successful convention we had. In terms of signing customers, I had a great talk over there about our next gen product, and the chain of event. I was telling Shahar and Alon, guys, this is meant to be like on that specific day that we're meeting. I was giving a talk, and it was filmed, and it was a great talk.
So a lot of kind of building up energies that kept
everything was meant to be on that point, and when they met them, and we had those type of sign-ups in new continents and such, and a good talk and everything. So I had the feeling that okay, this is going to be successful. It's just a matter of now sitting and watching it happen. And as Alon was saying, like it was a long month and a half that we were needed to go and do all the due diligence process, which it's never easy, I guess. But we already know that it's going to be happening, and it's going to be successful, and it's going to be a love story. When I flew to the US with Alon, watching Ryan, Oscar, Scott, and the team actually really reinforced the feeling of dealing with really professional mensch type of character people, that this is what we really looked for and expected. We had some opportunities in the past to go with several options, but again, like it wasn't that. Like this was, as Shahar was saying, that felt like love from first sight, and I think it really was, and then move forward quickly. Yeah, that's at least my point of view on that experience from another angle.
And actually, Alex, you can also bring your angle. You were in the two meetings.
Yeah, I mean that was something that I'll never forget, and to be able to have a seat at that table meant a lot to me, and just to see you guys all together, and I 100% echo what Alon said, and Moran too, that the energy was so spot on. It was almost like a no-brainer. I mean, this is a great match together, and just hearing, I mean, you guys are really smart, but they're also very, very smart too, and just hearing their understanding of the industry, and how to infuse this capital and the things that we needed to do, and it just seemed like, okay, this is the team that it makes sense. But in that journey over the last year or so, for sure, there have been other company or investors and things that you've talked to, but I think it's really important that when you're raising funding to make sure you don't just go with the first offer. I mean, you wait, because it's like waiting ended up being a blessing in this case.
100%. Part of the due diligence that we've done from our side was to talk with other funders that, like CEO, that Avenue actually invested in. And my question to the CEO that I talked with, what happened when stuff didn't go right? And both of them said, what happened is Brian took his sleeve and asked, how can I help? And for me, that was big, because that's exactly what we want. That's a partnership that we want. And that was a big check mark for me.
So I have a question. So going through this process, and one of the things, and I'll use like VRMA as a reference, and there was a lot of people talking about AI, and everybody's, it's the buzzword, and people are throwing it in there, and not necessarily, I think a lot of people are talking about it, not necessarily understanding the capabilities and what it actually does. But every PMS, I walk the floor, and every PMS has, we've got AI in our PMS, we can give you AI, but you guys have like taken a totally different approach as to how AI is embedded and actually runs the system. And so maybe give us a little more insight about how, I know, part of the reason they put this together was, Shahar, you were in the business and you had some struggles. And so you built on some processes and some systems that were AI driven, but it obviously morphed into Boom. So why don't you give us kind of the backstory of how this all came to be and why Boom is such a leader, I would say a leader in kind of the AI integrated space?
Basically, we jumped on the AI wagon in the very early stages. So when ChatGPT was coming out, I was mind blown with everything going on there, and I was talking to Shahar and to Alon and say, guys, we got to get it in. It's actually making sense. It can answer guests and it can do all the guest communication, all the type of communication that humans or hosts really don't like doing, like waking up 2 a.m., just answering a guest or taking a problem, don't find the keys and such. And we've got all that data in the system. So Alon and Shahar actually architect a really all-in-one solution in a time where best of breed solution were spreaded, like a solution that does only operation or solution that does only guest experience. And basically from the ground up, this platform was built as an all-in-one, as something that consolidates the entire business into a single data point that can be extracted in multiple ways. And that's what brings AI power. So basically, I've seen the combination that we've got all the data already. We just need to serve it to the customer. So we prototype really, really fast. And that's what Alon is capable of. He's basically taking concepts and bringing them to life to customers. And that's the first advantage, like getting fast to the market, putting AI, answering guests in production really, really fast. And this is where we got the experience to basically improve it as we go, add more logic, add more capabilities, and increase the quality of AI. Now, that began as kind of a chat-oriented with guests, with sales, to begin with, review analysis. As we move forward, we understood that the AI change is bigger than just a couple of features within the software. It is actually a revolution that is going to change our entire world, including how we develop a product, how we interact with AI on every different aspect, how we develop the product, how we support our customers, and basically how we communicate with the system. So basically, we have defined ourselves as an AI-driven company, where AI is not just a single feature, but basically what's the entire product and company are built on top in order to optimize and scale our capabilities. That's the mindset. This is how it built originally. And again, like Alon was talking about new things to come, that is going to blow people's head. And this is what we are dealing with those days, like getting into the next step of AI.
We'll be back in just a minute, but first, a word from our premier brand sponsor.
Hi, my name is Lauren Madewell. I'm with Antebellum's Cabin Rentals. We have been with Explory for over 15 years now. Before working with Explory, we were just recommending all the local attractions, but we never got anything out of it. And so now we get to work with the local attractions that we recommend, and it's not just, you should go here, it's a lot of fun. It's, you should go here, you get a free ticket, we love this place. When we first started working with Explory, what we were hoping that it would help us achieve is potentially signing on more homeowners because we could offer their guests more. We also wanted to earn more bookings because we were going to give guests more than the average booking. You book thinking you're just going to get a cabin or vacation rental, but now you get that and all these free tickets. So more homeowners and more guests and more repeat business. There is more competition than ever. All the markets are oversaturated. Money is tighter than ever. There's only so much you can do for a cabin. There's only so low you can go on the rates. There's only so high you can go on the specials. When we all just have rental properties, it's kind of the same thing. Where there is real value now in this economy is the guest is not just getting that cabin that they're paying for. They're seeing, with Antebellum's in particular, I'm getting over $900 in free tickets every day. That factors into their budgeting. It's an incredible economic advantage for the guests because they are looking where they can stretch their dollar the furthest. I really think that's more valuable to them than a lower rate or a higher special. I'd say the overall impact on the guest experience has been incredibly positive in measurable and immeasurable ways. Yes, we are absolutely seeing it in their Google reviews and their third-party platform reviews that they're enjoying the free ticket system. We know how much they're using it because they reach out before their stay asking questions and recommendations about the best way to use their free tickets. If another property manager asked me if Explory is worth it, there's no question. On the one hand, I'd be like, no, totally not worth it. Give me the competitive advantage. But no. I put my heart in everything. So I would actually say in this economy, I think you'd be silly not to work with Explory.
Looking to take your guest experience to the next level? Explory helps you stand out by connecting guests to curated, complimentary local activities. And now, Alex and Annie listeners get free onboarding when you join as a new partner. This exclusive offer is valid through November 30th, 2025. Click the link in the description to get started today.
Just like Moran said, I think even before AI came, me and Shahar built the platform as a one-stop shop. Power that AI has nowadays relies on the data that it has. So if the data sits in 10 different systems, it won't be able to access it all. And functionality, meaning it needs to have all of the functions. So again, if you're using 10 different systems and not necessarily the integration is 100% and you can't do everything, then the AI is very limited. So Boom was built and pretty much the only one that was built this way, which I think gives us a lot of advantage. I think another part is that me and Shahar, we also own a big vacation rental company in Florida that we've been working and developing the product on it. So we also have a lot of deep industry knowledge. We understand what it means for the provider. We are, in a way, a provider ourselves. So we can tackle stuff. A lot of the time I understand what's important, what's not important. And sometimes even customers come to me and say, I need this. And I won't tell them if we'll do it or not. I'll tell them, why do you need it? So we also bring a lot of knowledge to the table. Most of the team, whether it's the onboarding, implementers, are people with background from the industry that either worked in our older companies or other companies that we are working on. So a lot of industry knowledge. And regarding the fact that, nowadays every company would say that they are doing AI, but, it's really different if it's coming from the essence of the company and if it's, let's say, something which is the roots of the company, or if it's something that, they just put on top and it's nice. Because if you really want to get to the places that we are, which is basically reaching around 80% of customer communication automated, all of the reviews, accounting, reconciliation, all of those automated, you have to do more than just, putting stuff on top. Then obviously when you're choosing Boom, you're not just choosing us for what we are currently have. There's a lot of stuff that will come because we are always at the top, we're leading it. other people are following, but I feel that we're really doing a good job in keeping ahead of the pack.
So I think that how the world is built today, like in our world, we have the PMS. The PMS connected to a lot of pieces of software, like you have your revenue, your guest portal. In the SaaS world, SaaS was coming to solve a solution, like a problem to part of your organization. So your bookkeeper working on QuickBooks and your handyman working on Monday and your marketing person working on HubSpot. And in reality, the people on top of these tools running the company. So if your bookkeeper doesn't have a receipt, he will ask the handyman, hey, send me the receipt. If it's through like a phone or email, task, whatever it is. And we in Boom believe that the world is moving into a world of BaaS, which is business as a software, where all of the parts are under one platform. As a result, the AI can function in a much better way. If I have to simplify it to our industry, to vacation rental, if I want to do an early check-in, how the AI is going to answer me if it doesn't know if there is a test to fix a toilet or a shower, if somebody did a late checkout, or if all of mission have been completed in order for them to get in. So meaning I need to use different data sources from different platforms in order to give the answer. And what we're doing in Boom is basically put everything under one, so the AI can really give an answer in ways nobody else can, in multiple scenarios.
Yeah, and I know just being at VRMA and hearing a lot of people that came up and they asked a similar question that Annie asked of, okay, well, everybody's saying they're doing AI, but then as soon as you gave your explanation and then you show them the demo on the iPad, it's like, that's the aha moment, like, oh, wow, this is definitely different than what I'm seeing walking around at every other booth that's at the show. But one question that a couple people asked that I love that they asked this, they shows that they're thinking in the right realm of how they pick a software. They asked what was on our roadmap, and Alon, you just alluded to something that's very big that's coming out, and actually because of the date that this episode will air, which is November 1st, right after VRWS. Can you share a little bit about BAM?
Sure. So I think creator should share it. Moran, please do.
Okay.
So thanks for the credit. Basically, BAM is a conversational AI, meaning think about talking to your business. So instead of flipping 100 screens to just configure something or get a certain data, you can just ask him and it will do this work for you. So it's a mind shift on how management platforms are going to work. And it's basically giving you the capability just to talk to your system in a natural language. Think about ChatGPT for your business. So you can ask him to create you a report or to change the scheduling of specific tasks. It can do a lot of things. Basically, it has all the system capabilities from an action perspective. So it can take any action a user can do and do it for you. So that's just the beginning, right? Like till now, we know ChatGPT is kind of a reactive. You ask it something and then it answers you and such. We are taking it to a level up. So we are building the mechanism of autonomous system, meaning it will have all the logic, all of the shifts and handles to basically take your business to a new level of automation. So you won't need to ask it to do something. It would actually initiate these things basically based on a certain condition and do those things for you. If you want like an angry guest report from last night, it would go over your entire guest conversation, take out the specific one, ask you, would you like me to answer them, or would like and give like a very specific treatment to any of those. It can schedule your weekly shifts and weekly tasks for your employees based on distance, proximity, GPS, like all of the different considerations you would like to have. So it's basically a new level, a new area, a new era in the age of management systems. So that's in a nutshell. I'm sure that the guys here can promote it much better than me, though.
I think you did it great, but I think the concept is like I said before, I think the concept is to bring a lot of our industry knowledge and create a tool that works for you. So we started with the ChatGPT form that basically people could ask for stuff or ask for reports and stuff like that. But the idea was to make it something much bigger. So let's take an example of myself. I have a company. Every week there's lots of expenses coming from different contractors. Some of them are on payroll, some of them are not. And it's really hard to go over and monitor. Also, very time consuming, money consuming. And in a simple prompt that we did, every Sunday morning, go over all of latest week expenses and make sure that all of them are valid amount-wise, like price-wise and hourly, and give me a report of irregularities. This already saved me like 5-6 hours that I used to spend. So, and this is just in a nutshell. The idea is to give you BAM and to give you a lot of pre-made playbooks. You can just press it on and you have a best practice from a big company. Obviously, the idea would be to create a marketplace that everyone could add their own playbooks and basically create an ecosystem. But the whole concept is not only to be something that is waiting for the client to talk to us in a way, to BAM, but to be something proactive that can happen every week, every service call, every expense approved, every event or time, and basically make a decision that obviously you can dictate and see how it's working. I think that it's also really, really important to say when we are talking about autonomous system, it's not like something, okay, I'm releasing and good luck. The interfaces needs to be good. There needs to be good handling and procedures on how the AI responds, reacts. And this is a lot of what we're trying to do, because it's not only that you set it loose, you need to see that it's providing value, make sure that the analytics are looking good, and basically make sure that it's working for you in the best way.
I have a question related to, I guess, how you train the AI, because Alex and I've been to a lot of conferences this fall, and AI is probably, one of the most well-attended sort of sessions for people to go to. And there's mixed feelings about it. Some people are very hesitant to adopt it, and some people are just completely all in. And then I think there's a group that's just kind of waiting to see how this all plays out. But what would you say, or I guess maybe give us some guidance on someone who adopts Boom? How long does it take for the AI within the system to be trained on the voice of that business? So if somebody wants to come in and switch off of a system that they've had to run every little piece of it and had to have a staff member, how long is it going to take them to make Boom function optimally for their business?
So I would say that it really depends on the client and on the speed that he wants to onboard. A lot of the time, a lot of the setup, like the policies around it. We also have a lot of, let's say, a technical secret sauce in how we are doing those adjustments, but basically reading the conversation, understanding the policies. Most companies have a document or some sort of a guideline that we can just push into BAM and he creates the policies for us. Usually the onboarding phase is quite easy. If the client is determined to start with AI on day one, usually we create a sandbox. He can play with a few demo reservation, see that everything is working up to his speed, and start from there. We usually advise for the clients, at least in the first week or two, to start with Copilot, make sure that their support team likes the answers, that we don't have any screw-ups, you may say, and take it from there. But naturally, we have a lot of defensive measures in order to make sure that even if you plug the AI in the most generic way, that it won't run out of hand, like it has confidence level, or if it doesn't have certain information or enough confidence, it won't fire automatically the answer. So there's lots of mechanisms that also protect the client. Short answer, if the client wants to start, within a few days, he can have AI piloting on at least 50% of his queries, I believe.
I would like to add a few stuff into that. So every company have their own voice, their own, like, how they doing stuff. The way we look at AI, we read all of the past conversation, understand the company, so the AI will answer in the way the company will. And we can understand all of the policies and procedures, and then the company can go ahead and do that. And it's really important for me to explain one thing, that what we're experiencing right now is kind of the biggest thing that happened to humanity, the way I see it. It's like when computer came out, to say I'm not going to use a computer is to that level how AI and people really need to adopt it, because there is no stop. We are in a change of how stuff are being done. When you're looking at, we used to be farmers, and then you had the Industrial Revolution. The Industrial Revolution changed our capability as humans. Like, we were focusing how we're producing food to ourselves as farmers. When Industrial Revolution came, it changed all of the aspect of work. So people moved from being farmers to being accountant, lawyers, like whatever it is in the modern world. And now we have another shift, and AI becoming an infrastructure. Like, you have electricity, like you have water, like you have telephone, like you have internet. AI becoming the infrastructure of intelligence. We just are shifting in the way how we work. This is what's happening now. And at Boom, we want to bring that basically into business, involving AI, making the like, to be like a property manager is really hard work, right? You need to be 24/7 available. You need always, like, your revenue will be depends on the reviews that the guest will leave you, and you always need to be pleasant and nice. And our point is how you can do it with much better work-life balance. And once you adding the AI, it's really giving you the capability to focus on the guest experience, to focus on the guest, because as a property manager, because we have so much on our shoulders, sometimes we forget the customers. Like, I think, I need to do bookkeeping, and I need to answer emails, and I need to do the taxes, and I need, like, to make sure that the handyman is coming to the house. There is so many stuff. It's like, and our point is to make life easier and to create basically a win-win-win for everybody. So the guest will get a better experience when he's coming to the place, when he will be touched when he needs to be touched, when our owners will make more money, and our companies will be more profitable, while we give much better work-life balance to our employees. And this is what we want to create. Now, Alon said, like, one more thing, that we know the industry, and this is why we create, like, solutions, like, and we understand it deep. But it's really important for me to say that we learn also a lot about the business from our partners, and our experiences understand what they bring to the table, because there are so much amazing people and amazing companies, and we take ideas all day long, and we can judge if it's a good idea or not by our experience. So definitely our partners allowing us to create a much better product, and for us it's really important to listen, and we try to listen as much as we can.
And I think that a big differentiator is we're not just looking at ourselves as the SaaS providers. We're also in a way looking at ourselves as supplying virtual manpower, which, when you think about it, it comes very significant in the era that we are moving towards.
Yeah, but I would explain it like we help you being better yourself. So meaning, like, I was doing, like, for example, every month I would go over, or I would ask somebody to go over about all of the utilities bill to see if there is a climb of 10% or more, let's say in water, then we know that we have a leak and all of that. So with BEM right now, you can say, I want you to do this check on a monthly basis to see if there's more than 10% going up in utilities. And I want to do it every month. And from now on, it will happen every month. So everything that you do, you can put in a loop that it just done for you so you don't need to deal with it, and that's really helping in creating a smart system that work for you.
We'll be back in just a minute, but first, a word from our premier brand sponsor.
I'm Mercedes, founder of MBX Homes, and we are a co-hosting company based in Southern California. We manage over 100 properties to date, and Logify has become the core of our business. Without it, I don't even think our business could run. It truly has become the heart. We're able to see all of the reservations. Our cleaners go into their portal and they make sure all the cleans are done for the day. And of course, our owners know exactly what's happening in their property. And I think that's amazing to have full transparency in your business on both the operational side and your client side. At MBX Homes, we pride ourselves in brand recognition, and Logify has truly helped with that. Since we have so many repeat clients, we're easily able to welcome our guests back by sending the direct booking link, and I think that is the feature that has really helped our business grow. By having a direct booking website, not only are we really promoting our own brand and our own properties, we are able to fully control that reservation and make the most profit for both ourselves and, of course, our clients, aka our co-hosting owners. The Logify team has been wonderful. They truly have supported so many hosts, including myself. During our onboarding for Logify, we had a dedicated person who was with us every step of the way when it came to onboarding. And ever since then, when we have new questions or we're onboarding new properties, we're able to reach out to Logify and they are able to help us integrate seamlessly. They're so easy to get a hold of, where if you're getting a hold of them via Logify themselves, you're emailing them, or you're calling the support number, somebody is always there to take care of you and to make sure that the problem is resolved in real time. If you're a co-host managing multiple properties, I truly do recommend Logify. It's a real tool that we use every single day, and it has only helped grow our business.
Looking to streamline how you manage your short-term rentals? Get started with Logify today and get 20% off yearly and bi-yearly plans. Plus, free personalized onboarding worth over $3,000 when you use the code AAA20 at checkout. This offer is valid until December 31st, 2025. Click the link in the description to get started today.
A couple points, because there's a lot of great information that you guys just shared right there. But I think a lot of our listeners that, I've worked in almost every property management system out there, or at least all the big ones. And, on a daily basis as in marketing, or whether it's somebody in operations, to get access to the information that you need to run these reports, and then to get the report and you have to wait for the report and then you get it and it's not the information that you need. You have to run it again and then you still have it, but it's not actionable. And I think the visibility and transparency into the data has been, a huge problem for property management systems to this point. And I remember being on stage at one of the conferences a few years ago and asked the audience, what percentage of your bookings are direct versus OTA? And only a couple people could answer that. And I said, well, what percentage are repeat versus returning? And several said, oh no, my system can't tell me that. And it's like, these operators are really flying blind and have been for a long time and just having to kind of go on their hunches. But then the other point I wanted to make too, with the AI and how you can train it so that it still is on brand. I've spoken with several of our partners that, they've given a character to the AI. They've branded it as a name and they've really taught it to speak in their tone, which is really cool. Because at the end of the day, it's not about replacing your people, but it's letting them focus on things that are higher value while still making sure that your standards as a brand and a company are being communicated to your guests and your owners.
Sorry for that. So I think the key aspect for adoption for anything is trust and reliability. And if you've got the confidence as a customer to rely on the AI, basically you've seen it in the works and you are happy with it, this is where you got your trust and you let go. The main thing is how to get there. This is not happening overnight. And as the guys were saying, it really depends on the personality and how big of a guardrails you want to put there. What we allow them to do is to put the guardrails wherever they would like. So if they don't want the AI to talk about anything about money, refunds and anything, they can just do it so the AI won't reply to that. Or if they wanted to have it working only on specific hours, like night shifts or weekends. They can do that as well. And gradually, this way, they get the confidence of using the AI and relying on it more. More than that, basically, we've built it as part of the system. So whatever is addressable to a human is addressable to the AI from a data and visibility perspective. So you can actually see the AI in action as a regular worker, which gives another level of confidence. So confidence is a big thing with regards to adoption. And I would like to say that also AI is getting evolution. So basically, the models that we got 2 years ago are not the models that we have today. So basically, the quality, our customers are benefiting from the quality of models that are getting improved. And they get kind of a free updates or free upgrades in a way in the terms of quality of the answers and capabilities. So it's really kind of a huge point. And as we see this infrastructure, as Shahar defined it, moving forward, this is something that are basically, it's going to keep on improving as we go, which is a really important thing. So yeah, I think all of that together, basically trust and evolution, really helps to expedite the adoption time with regards to AI.
And to your question before, Alex, the cool thing is that you can get any report and any data that you want that like you can just think of. Like for me, I get a lot of ideas when I'm in the shower. I'm thinking about stuff, and I'm like, okay, how if I get that? So I was sitting with my wife, and she used to be in charge of all of the design in Design VR, to how we design homes and all of that. And ask any question that you want. I want to see what BEM will find out. So she was asking which of our bed is the most comfortable one, and then you to take it from all of the review to answer to where we get the best review of the like which properties have the most comfortable bed, and we had the answer. So really anything in your mind that you want to know about your business is in your fingertip, and this capability is just enormous to any level.
So on that kind of point, Shahar, and I guess maybe I'm not just whoever wants to answer this. So BAM will be able to go in the system and extract the information, but to the point of like the beds, it's going to, that report would be skewed because you've only had somebody like comment on a bed in one or two units. It was, or maybe it's only one unit that it's been commented. It'll look like that. So are you encouraging people to kind of think through the process of like asking more of these questions so you're getting more data points within the system?
In general, we have a lot of data points. So obviously we have the reviews. So if anyone comments it out, we label it, we put it on the guest, we later on know. But when you think about it, there's a full communication flow with the guest. It doesn't have to give me, hey, the bed is comfortable in the review. It's enough for him to say what amazing bed during the conversation, and we will already pick it up. So when you think it, there's a lot of different ways in which we can understand it. Again, Shahar with the bet, I think, gave a really specific example. You can take an implication to whatever, like how many towels were used last week, what's my damages, whatever, what's my bank reconciliation percent, and even more than that. For example, take all of my 5-star reviewers in the last months and send them an email to come back to us, to our direct booking site or whatever, go, and suddenly you have a campaign. So it's really like giving superpowers. And again, now I'm just throwing out ideas. Obviously, I won't be able to sit next to each one of our clients and give him ideas. And that's why we created the playbooks. So there would be like, I click on it, I get value, my business is improved ever since. And this is kind of like what we're trying to do. And obviously, as we grow and as BAM would evolve, this product would become more and more impactful on the clients that we have in Boom.
That's great. So long range vision, now that the funding has been secured and a lot of progress has been made, where do you guys see Boom in the next 5 years?
One, long-term thinking, yours.
Long-term thinking technologically, this is business.
Pass the buck.
I think in general nowadays 5 years, first of all, is a crazy long time. Yeah,
it is. Yeah,
especially in the way the world is now shifting and changing, and I feel that now every year is like 20 years before, and it would probably just keep escalating in a way. But in general, when we think about Boom and we think about our purpose, we want to autopilot real estate. So currently we are in the hospitality. We're going to go, obviously up market, down market, really get a grip on that market. And obviously later on, we'll see other opportunities that might be appealing to us. We want to give the best product, and we want to really give a product that would improve companies' P&L, improve experience, improve also the guest experience, and really give value to all sides of the table, whether it's the property manager, the property owner, or the guest. All of them should basically get a positive output from it.
100%. Create value. This is where we see ourselves. Create value to the partners that are using us, and to be able to give them the best value that they can get anywhere. And because our closeness to hospitality, to real estate, this is the area where we want to make an impact.
I think it's great. And I know the line from your booth was around the corner last week at BRMA, and it was really great to see. And there are a lot of people, this is a time of year when people make those decisions about their new technology choices. So if anybody's interested in getting a demo, obviously they can touch base with Alex, but is there somebody that they should reach out to directly to get more information, find out more, go ahead and get a demo and make the switch and get on your roadmap to be onboarded? Who would be that person?
So first of all, I encourage those people. I think it's a very smart decision. In general, we have in the website form, we have in boomnow.com, we have a contact form that you can just fill in. We're usually pretty available. We have Idan, our chief growth, which usually meets at least the first time and kind of get a plan together with the clients. So again, I think that the form on the website would be the best way.
Great. And we'll include everybody's emails and LinkedIn profiles in the show notes too, if anybody wants to reach out to any of you individually. But congratulations again, and thank you guys for coming over and sharing a little bit more about the whole process. I think it's fun to look back and see how much has happened just in the past year since I've been involved. But the future is bright and booming. So congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. It was fun.
Absolutely. And if anybody wants to contact Annie and I, you can go to alexandanniepodcast.com. And until next time, thanks for tuning in, everybody.